It says that I'm live. What's up, y'all? I'm live in the middle of the day. Come on in here. Hello, 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 and welcome to Tuesday. Honey, we are still living, which means that we still have the opportunity to do great things and to take care of greater responsibilities from within, right? Okay, so I'm gonna wait. I'm streaming from a couple of different places. So as you jump in, if you could just say hello so the comments can start populating because I want to talk about something really, really, really important to me. But folks aren't caught wind to it, so it's no longer important to me. It's important to other people all around the world. And I just want to expound on what it is um, that I'm doing and why is it so important. But wait a minute, I'm gonna put because my little placeholder is covering my shirt. So I'm gonna put my pen on this side because this is how real it is, y'all. I mean, I have marketing buttons and shirts and coffee cups and all types of things to really market this movement, 1 million life coaches around the globe. So as you're jumping in, I'm going to go over here to the comments just in case you say hi, because coming on to a live is just like entering into a room and you always want to show up and toot your own horn and be like, hey, I'm here. So if you're tuning in, if you've never met me before here in the virtual world, they call me Master Coach Lakendra. I'm the founder and CEO of the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs. And my mission is to certify 1 million life coaches around the globe. And I have been rightfully doing so for the last 12 years. But I'm doing this live right now because I want to bring more people who may also believe in the mission to our platform so we can have these great conversations about different areas of leadership and things that leaders face because life coaches are leaders, right? And the obstacles that we face that keep us from really being at our best. And like the little strolling tagline is saying, it's like it's the mission to lead with love. And what keeps us from doing that? And in all honesty, since the pandemic, I've been heartbroken by some great leaders that were operating in excellence and they were showing up. You know what I mean? But when the pandemic happened, a lot of leaders just lost their mojo and they lost the drive and they lost the passion because the world got really wonky. And when the world gets wonky, you get to see, what your village really looks like, what your community really looks like. And a lot of great leaders who were really out here working hard, they lost their communities. Um, and they just kind of went on the wayside, which means that now communities have lost great leaders that lead with love, or they led with love, and they led with integrity, and they led with just a good, compassionate mission of really serving the community and serving people in excellence. So, who are we left with? Who are we left with when good leaders are burnt out and they just don't have that rope to pull themselves back up? Well, we're left with leaders that are not heart centered. Because what I've discovered in the 47 years that I've been living and since the pandemic is there are good people in this world and there are bad people in this world. And we have to believe that, right? So when you're talking about all the different things of like, how do you affect change in the community? And when people say, oh, change starts with you, back in the day, you'd be like, oh, that's some BS. Like, oh, that's so cliche. But since pandemic, it's true. Change starts with you. And if we don't have leaders who are not affecting change in their own personal life and their own personal development, then our communities where we shop, where our kids go to school, where we go to the doctors, where we're depending on, our lifeline, which are police officers and paramedics and, people are in health professionals to be heart centered with us and give us the best quality care and give us the best quality services without all of the foolery. It washes down the drain and everything becomes about money and it doesn't become about humanity. So 1 million life coaches around the globe is all about that, bringing heart-centered leaders back to their main focus, right? So I call it my VIP 3 method, right? So it's the vision that leaders had that was given to them, their God-given vision. When you saw it, it lit you up. It made you feel purposeful. You wanted to truly serve, and you wanted to make not only your life better, but your household, your family life better, and then also your community life better, because you knew that you were going to produce a service, or you knew that you were going to produce a quality, something, I don't know, merchandise or whatever it is. You knew it was going to be quality, right? Products. That's the word I was looking for. Products and services. And you knew that the ingredients were going to be exactly what a person needed. Like if you said that this product is going to help you with your arthritis, or this product is going to help you to, alopecia is a big thing that people are talking about right now. So this product is really going to help you with your alopecia, or this product is really going to help you, like a person like me that has lived with an attention deficit disorder all of her life. This product is really going to help you with that. And you have heart-centered people creating products and services that has everything it needs, which is integrity, right? Because they love and they care about humanity. Then you have bad leaders who see what the wind is going through. Oh, alopecia is a thing. Let me just put something together and let me just say this is what it's going to do for you. But it's harming you even more. Or, bad leaders who say that, hey, this is what I'm going to teach you, and this is what you should be doing in life, and yet their life is not even equivalent to that. It's like, do what I say and not what I do. So they're not even walking in alignment with what they're preaching. So there is 2 roads. There's a road of goodness, and then there's a road of bad, of not so good people. And I'm telling y'all, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Y'all see that crown back there? I say that. I have these crowns around my house now. Hey, Nappy Coach, I have these crowns around my house now, like to remind me just everywhere that never allow the crown to get so heavy, LaKendra, where you're so burdened where you can't do God's work. Because I'm a God girl, and whoever you serve, it's that work, right? Like nobody should judge you on who you serve. If it lights you up and make you want to be a better person, then you should just be lit up and just doing, because whatever that is that drives you, whatever your faith is that drives you, as long as it's making you a freaking good person where you're serving humanity in excellence and in love and compassion, you should be all in for it, right? So in good leadership, when I started like thinking about elevating my life coach certification, because people are asking me, LaKendra, okay, you're saying that you serve leaders, but you say you every time you open your mouth, you talk about life coaches, because the life coaches are leaders. Life coaches are the pillars of our communities, who are educating and who are creating and who are uplifting and who are spreading joy in our communities and around the world. We are considered life coaches. Why? Because we have lived a life of love. We have lived a life of suffering. We have lived a life of change. We have lived a life of perseverance. And once you take all of that and you see how you have like triumphantly made it through in spite of all of the things that you've been through, in spite of all of the pain that other people have caused you, and in spite of all of the things that you have allowed people to dump on you and affect you and penetrate you to almost a point of destruction, but yet you're still here serving in a higher purpose, accepting a calling in spite of, man, those people are life coaches to me. So when I start to reshape my program and really and get very, very clear on who is my program for, that's when the leadership thing came into place. I say leaders, people who are decision makers, thought leaders, people who are change agents, influencers, people who literally open their mouth and evoke some type of emotion where it then transfers over to another person and it affects their behavior, it affects their mindset, and it affects how they go about in the world. If you do that, whether you are a mother or a father or a community activist or a next door neighbor or a doctor or a lawyer or an author or a public speaker, if you fall into anything where you open your mouth where you can shape behavior of another person, then you are a life coach. Because what you are evoking is either going to propel someone in the right direction or put them on a road of destruction. And so in my life coaching course, what I teach leaders is how to be responsible for when they open their mouths to infect another human being. And it all just really, what it entails is just our life's experiences and our beliefs of how we believe about our life experiences and how those life experiences has shaped our beliefs about society and about people in general and all of the things that we have judgments against. Some of the things we don't even understand where it comes from, right? We have judgment against them, and those things shape how we communicate. And how we communicate, if you have that mojo, right? Like I have the mojo. So when I speak, people listen and they take in consideration what I'm saying. So when I speak, what I have to do is I have to speak not from my ego, not from my pain and my suffering, but I have to speak from love and from my faith in which I believe in, so that people can then connect with what I'm saying. And if it makes them feel good, then they have a solid, like a solid vision or an unfoggy, because maybe their vision was foggy, but now they have an unfoggy vision where they can what? Change their behavior and become a better person. That's why I say all leaders are life coaches. And I love calling myself a life coach. When people say, what do you do? I say, oh, I'm a master life coach. Well, what is that? And then I get to have this beautiful conversation of how I'm being responsible, how life coaching has helped me to be responsible for my life in the lives of others. That's what real, true, bona fide life coaching is. And then you have other different components of life coaching. You have, business coaches and all these different type of coaches. But what I'm talking about is the life coaching for humanity. And that's what I'm doing over here. So I created 1 million life coaches around the globe, and I want y'all to get into it. I even did like a little presentation because I want to bring it up, and I just want to talk through it because, man, y'all missing out on some good stuff, right? And no, I'm not this perfect creature, And even though I've been in business for, 12 years and really impacting and making a difference, sometimes, it ain't as pretty as it possibly could be, but I'm now going public, right? Because I've been so private for a long time. People always wondering what I do. I had an interview today with Liz Wilcox. Shout out to Liz Wilcox. Get into her. Just go look her up on Facebook. She is the princess. We call her the Princess of Bel Air for email marketing. And as we were talking, she said, "I'm so glad we're having this meeting because I've always wondered, oh my gosh, what is it? I know she does something great, but I want to know what is it that Lakendra does." Like I want to understand it with clarity. So why y'all out there in them streets and you're just, slaying it? You're not even thinking about all of the prettiness, the perfection of business, right? Because I never thought about that. I was just like, all I know is I don't want to work for nobody. I need to figure out how to make money. And when I figured that out, I was just out there just doing it, from Z to A, right? And so now I'm getting my life together from A to Z, where I can speak more clarity about who it is that I serve. So if you're inspired and you know someone, if you know of a leader that needs, that TLC, they need to be rejuvenated. They need to get back centered with their why. You know that they make great products, but you also see them slipping, right? They're not showing up like they should be showing up in excellence. They're half-assing. Because why? They're drowning in their own inner peace. They're lacking it. The lack of inner peace is what they're drowning in. Because life still happens to us solopreneurs, to us minipreneurs, to us as aspiring to be entrepreneurs. Life happens where we just can't keep it going. So those type of people are my people. Those type of people are life coaches that I want to help, that I'm so passionate about helping. Warren Carlisle, which is one of my master coaches, shout out to Warren Carlisle. He runs the biggest octopus fan club in the freaking world. I've never seen anything about it. I wasn't even into octopuses until him. Now I have a freaking octopus in my office. But what he told me is, in one of my sessions with him, he said, Lakendra, you want to get to the place where when you are not in the room, people can talk about who you are and who you serve and direct people to you. Because if I'm having a conversation, I'm talking to a leader and they're talking about how great they are and this great service they have and this great product they have, but the mindset, he can see the struggle in their mindset. He can see the struggle and why they're not resilient in their business and why their business is not doing as well as it should be. Immediately, he was like, I can talk about Lakendra, like, hey, you may need to meet her because this service or this product she have may be great for you. So anywho, I created 1 million life coaches around the globe because let me tell you something. If we continue to lose our good leaders, answer this question for me. If we continue to lose our good leaders because one, they're burnt out, two, we ain't supporting, right? Three, they don't have a community where they can go and get fed and uplifted and where they can go and at least hold space for themselves and tap into that inner coach. They need to have that community where they're learning how to do that, to continue to tap into your inner coach. Because one thing I will say about leaders is we don't always have people to turn to because our families don't even understand. Why did you leave your job? Why are you putting us in even more stress because you're trying to pursue your dreams? Families don't get that. So it becomes like judgment against us because we're pursuing our destinies. Our friends, they're tired of freaking supporting us. Like, dang, you got another book you want me to buy? So then we start to lose our support system because people don't understand. And we can't fault them for that because you the one that chose the journey, not them. So the third thing is they don't have the right type of community that is not going to judge them as they struggle, but uplift them and put them back on the journey of showing up in their genius zone and selling their products and services in excellence. This is the reason why I created the 1 million life coaches around the globe, because I am that place for them. And if we keep losing our strong leaders, my question I was going to ask just a minute ago, I already told y'all that I'm ADHD, is who is going to be left to serve? Who are our educators going to be? Who are our doctors going to be? Who are our community activists going to be? Who are our politicians going to be? Our police officers, our firemen. Who are they going to be if we're losing good leaders that serve in those positions? We're going to be left with bad leaders. Those that have a narrow, one-track mindset about who should get the help and who should not get the help. Their own prejudices that comes from rage, that comes from appointment, that comes from having a lack of love, that comes from all of these things. They're going to be who we're left with. So I have a mission that was given to me by a higher power. I'm like, I don't know how in the hell this is going to happen, but I finally accepted the calling. It's something about like if you never got into the hero's journey, in the hero's journey, look it up, Google it. In the hero's journey, there is a place where the hero accepts the calling. And just because you accepted the calling doesn't mean that life is getting ready to be, cookies and cream for you. It don't mean that at all. But on your journey, you meet a guide, right? You meet a guide, you meet a mentor, you meet your community that's going to help you go through this journey of the calling, of accepting the calling. And once you go through it, the more you continue on a journey, it's almost like I call it the figure eight, which the figure eight is now a part of the coaching model that I teach the leaders. Coming out 2023, the new model. But the figure eight, because that's what the journey looks like. Even though you've accepted the calling is not going to be put cookies and cream. You have a group of people, you have a person that is going to help you to stay on that journey and never get off of it. Because there's going to be some listen, it tells you in the hero's journey, it is going to be some rocky points of the journey where you start to question yourself, where you start to say, what in the hell have I gotten myself into? Why did I did all of this to lose all of these people? You lost your friends, your boo one walked out on you because no one understands your insanity about this mission that you're on. Oh, but there is somebody that understands it if you stay on a journey. Sometimes you got to be on a journey alone. When you accept the calling, it's all about your personal development, your personal healing. That's where I come in at. Because you need that first piece. You need that first aha moment about yourself. The awareness is what I call it in the model. Right? You have the vision, you accept the calling. Now you need to have the awareness to it. And you're going through the motions of the beliefs that you have about yourself. The limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. The negative self-talk that happens in your mind, your lack of emotional intelligence, right? Your lack of social emotional value that you have. The essence of really who you are does not appear in the journey until you've completed it at least one time. At least one time, which means that my journey looked like 12 years, y'all. I just really got emotional. 12 years I've been on this journey and I finally got crystal clarity on who is it that I want to help and why do I want to help them and how does it serve humanity much, much, much greater than I can even articulate. Sometimes I can't even articulate it. All I know is if real leaders who are beautifully made in their heart and they're leading with love, you've taken everything that you've known, if you and you've given it all, but it's still not enough because you're not surviving. You should be a part of 1 million life coaches around the globe because I want to certify 1 million life coaches. I want to be in community with 1 million dope ass leaders who is about that life, who is about that empowerment and dismantling all of the negativity. Do you understand what I'm saying? All of the negativity in your own personal life, because that's where it begins. It began when you came out of your mama's womb and you got all of her mess and all of your daddy's mess. That's where it started. And all of their messes, right, encompassed by where you grew up, all of their messes and the belief systems that have been, propagated, if that's a word that I'm trying to use, into us. And now here you are, this beautiful being, right? Now you're of age. You're into your responsibility of life. And you have all of that other stuff that you have to bring along. You have to carry it with you. And it's keeping you from being at your very, very best because you're none of those things. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I used to be ashamed to tell my mom's story, but now I tell it with freedom because I am a leader. And what I have to teach others is that you can't live in shame of your power because really it all has brought you to the creations. I know two inventors, two Black inventors, amazing women who have invented, well, actually I know two Black inventors and one white inventor. They're women. And when I hear their story, but yet still see their genius zone, it's like their story and their pain is so heavy, but yet their genius zone is still so high because they had created something for freaking humanity to thrive on, right? But it shouldn't be like this. It should be like this. So as you continue to rise, this don't get heavy. It rises with you until you figure out what to do with it. Do you become one with it? Because that's the awareness. That's the answer. That's the key. So we're losing great leaders because of their lack of emotional intelligence and social emotional fiber. We're losing each other. And I said it before, because the lack of internal love, the lack of our emotional intelligence, and the lack of community. So can we have it all? Can we have it? Yes, but it's a great sacrifice. And that's what this platform is all about. And I just want to share it. I'm going to be wrapping up. I thank you, those who are tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. It's for whoever it needs to be for. And if it's not for you, then you're not my audience. But if it is for you and you know others that it is for, I ask that you share it and you invite them into the room. Let's go over here to these good old comments though, because I know y'all, it's about to get real good, okay? Your journey is truly inspirational, both personal and business wise. You have grown. Thank you. Yes, Snappy. Hello, Coach Shanique. Universal. Oh no, girl, you the one that's so dope. You're the one that's dope. Mac Dreamy. Hello, Coach Mac Dreamy. He's here. Mag Dreamy, why you not working? But anyway, thanks for being here. I created this slideshow. I was like, I'm just gonna take it to the next level, right? To the next level. Okay. I'll give me 1 second. Let me check because this is, this is live for real. Um, this is my housekeeper calling. Okay. So 1 million life coaches around the globe. Let's spend a little time because I just want to share what's happening with the movement, with the mission, and then you can figure out, how you can get involved, whether it's you coming on and like just listen, just go head to head with yourself. Me versus me. That's what the certification is all about. You coming back centered with your vision and you becoming your first client, because we can dish it out all day, dishing it out, do this, do that. Man, you should be creating this and doing that, and you can uplift and you can inspire. But when it comes to you, reverse the tables, child. We just like a broken doll, a heartbroken teddy bear. We don't know how to give it to ourselves. So the 1 million life coaches around the globe is for responsible leaders that are heart-centered, that's ready to elevate themselves so they can continue to elevate their brand. Next level leadership, right? My VIP 3 method that I'm going to be teaching at our conference that I'll be talking about on another live so I can keep this isolated. So I've started this journey. And if you want to join the mission, you can join the mission. So 1 million life coaches around the globe is now streaming every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the US. And I'm saying here in the US because it's streamed worldwide. Okay. So match up your time zone. 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time in the US every Monday on TNC Now, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. It's out there. It's a beautiful platform conversating with leaders and what gets them through. What makes them want to wake up in spite of all of life difficulties that they face and still show up in complete excellence for humanity. Even though the crown is so heavy, right? Even though it's not easy. And people think just because you're successful that you just have it easy. But y'all, that is a myth. And so on the show, I'm really eradicating all of the stigmas around strong leadership. So you can see the heart of real leadership and how they power through every single day, and yet still serve their communities, yet still try to be good mothers and fathers, yet still try to create great products and services. But leaders need a strong community. They need a nurturing community. They need a community that's going to foster, their failures. Like, it's okay for you to fail in here and not be judged and not be like, nah, I knew she was going to fail. Good for her. No, but a enriched community that is going to foster their love for what it is that they do. And then it's going to teach them how to love themselves in spite of their failures. In spite of a pandemic where they've lost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and followers. Because our followers are suffering too. So how can you be a great leader, lead with love, help to nurture your community so you can stop losing them, because everybody is losing everywhere, where it's not just about the sale, where it's not just about making another dollar, but it's truly about the compassion that you have for your platform and how you want to nurture them and how they can still hear even your pain points so they can see, baby, we all in this together. My coaches know, honey, we're in this together. We're in this together. And it's okay. You can see my vulnerability, because my vulnerability isn't my weakness at all. My vulnerability is my strength. Why? Because I've done a lot of inside work. So now my vulnerability is my strength. So you can see the imperfection in perfectionism, in the genius zone, in the zone of excellence. I can still show up regardless because I've accepted the calling. Okay. So episode 1, get into it, was all about my mental health survivors that lead. Right. So I had Coach K Sabala, I had Nappy Coach Nia, and man, it was such a powerful world premiere. I'm so happy that I chose them to open up my first freaking episode. You can go and catch this replay on the new channel at TNC Now, and you can hear about these strong leaders and how they prevailed and how they started their business in spite of their own, personal difficulties and struggling with depression. Leaders need to see this, because there's a lot of leaders who are embarrassed about their struggles, whether it be anxiety, whether it be bipolar disorder, whether it be clinical depression, whether it be ADHD, whether it be ADD, whether it be compulsive, disorder, like whatever. See, this is the reason why we need a platform, so you can see that with your greater responsibility to yourself, at some point you got to sacrifice and choose yourself so you can still lead in excellence. Coach K Sabala and Nappy Coach Nia spoke it perfectly. So no more living in shame if you are a survivor or you are surviving. Like every day I live with ADHD every day. Like I thought that someday it was gonna go away, but I mean, hey, I've been diagnosed from a child up to now, so I don't know. Like it's what's in me, but it's not me, and it's not enabling me and not discouraging me, because I have a formula that keeps me going every day. Then on episode 2, we have my white coats that lead. I love that we have the medical profession coming into life coaching, learning how to find their inner coach so they can stop being burned out, so they can stop, hanging with that poor pattern of, you got to stay up for 29 hours and you got to work these double shifts, because the only person that is serving is insanity. It's not serving any person, it's serving insanity. Because how can you be a productive healthcare worker and really providing a care of excellence for a human being if you're burnt out, if you're tired, and you're not taking care of yourself? One of our great coaches, bless his heart, Coach Phillip, may he rest in peace. He was one of our oldest coaches. Coach Phillip was like in his 70s. He inspired me every day. And his mission was to educate white coats about the importance of self-care and family. So this episode If you want to hear a different perspective from a heart surgeon, from a critical care nurse who came through and got certified as life coaches so they can learn how to make themselves their first patient, how you treat yourself is how you treat others, right? What you're projecting is real. The energy is real. So, baby, episode 2 was fire. And I loved it. I loved how they effectively communicated why life coaching was so important for their next level in leadership. And then on yesterday, baby, we had our educators that lead. It was a profound show. Profound show. And the teachers here really dug into the mental health, stability, and instability of education. And I loved it. And you can love it too. So you can actually check out, follow, and subscribe. This is on Facebook. I know I have LinkedIn up, I have YouTube up. I'm in the group of 1 million life coaches around the globe. I'm on our business page on Facebook, and I'm on my personal page. Child, we're everywhere, okay? And so you can follow and subscribe to 1 million life coaches around the globe. You can share it out because remember, I told you, strong leaders, all we need is support. That's really all we ask for. You put us in a room, we'll shine. Put this in the room of your family and your friends so they can come get enriched, and not just by 1 million life coaches around the globe. There are dozens of shows on the new channel that can enrich them. Positive TV, right? Positive influence. We're so entrenched in negative influence and bad TV. Like I'm constantly having to purge out my timeline to reshape my algorithm, right? Of what things that I want to see. Because that one click of foolery will flood your timeline. Just one click. You entertain it that one time, and we're human. Man, it's gonna flood your timeline, and then you're gonna have to spend a day purging out your timeline to get it back on track to your focus. That way you're never drained from being on social media. A lot of people are affected by social media because of all of the foolery that has now plagued their algorithm. So you can change that. So go and follow and subscribe. Subscribe is a choice. Following is a choice. On Facebook, hashtag TNC Now or at TNC Now, the new channel. You can find the show, get the alerts. Like I said, I come on every Monday. Also become a sponsor because let me tell you, TNC has a great channel. They have a great following. My shows are, it's on a global platform. TNC is really, they're stationed out of the Philippines. A lot of you who don't know, I have a big following in the Philippines. I do a lot of business with a lot of great leaders over there. So if you want to be sponsored, if you want to become a sponsor on the show, then I ask that you inbox me so I can connect you. And I mean, it is so super dope how they promote businesses on the channel. Or if you just want to be mentioned, maybe you want to provide some free products, like all of the guests that have been coming on, they have been providing free services. Or like yesterday, oh my gosh, Coach Doris gave away two $50 guilt-free gift cards of freaking amazing, right? And 2 people won that. And Coach Ronnie B gifted an hour communications life coaching session, which is going to be so super dope for the person that won that. So if you want to become a sponsor, we're looking for sponsors to keep positive influence in and on our airways. Let me know. Okay. So streaming soon, child. We on episode 3 next week. It's all about nonprofit leaders that lead. So you got to get into next week. It's gonna be so good, y'all. Okay, and also the last thing that I really want to talk about is the group. So I'm really nurturing this group. I'm getting into the group. I am right now I'm finding my way in the group of things that the group needs. Because when we originally started the group, it was called Global Thought Leaders. So the people who I know that are in the group right now, they're already leaders or they're aspiring leaders. And now it's all about 1 million life coaches around the globe, which is still leaders. And so just making sure that we have a clear message of who this group is for. It is for leaders that are looking for that community to help embrace and nurture and inspire you to stay on your road to success. And there will be, a lot of personal development talks in there, because sometimes we just need the inspiration. Sometimes we just need to hear a pleasant voice of reasoning while we're going through our own struggles. We could be in the middle of a battle with self, with all of the negative self-talk. We could be in the middle of it. Some of us are in it more than others. And you need a space where you can come and be like, oh my gosh, like I came there, I saw that poster board, it was so inspiring, and it helped me to get back in flow of my day instead of breaking completely down. Because man, if you a 0 to 100 person, man, you will break completely down. That one thing that someone may say to you that's still very, very fragile and very gentle, a gentle space in your heart can cause you to lose so many clients, to lose so much money because you couldn't show up for yourself. And we have to stop that. Leaders, we have to stop that, because the more you lose, the more our community lose. And when we lose all of our good leaders, who is going to be left to lead us? That's my message for you today. So hopefully you will join 1 million life coaches around the globe on Facebook. Come to our community, and all you got to do is type in, here it is one last time, 1 million life coaches around the globe. Find us. This is what the page tag looks like. We would love for you to join our group. We are rebranding the group. We're growing. And as we grow and continue to gain clarity by you, we're going to be asking questions. What are things that we need to talk about in here? One big component that I cannot wait to get into is about, diversity and inclusion and equity. Like really having those conversations about being more expansive in your mindset, because it truly has changed my life, of welcoming differences in. And it really just comes with the nurture of myself until I can learn how to do that for myself, right? And not it be about, oh, LaKendra, where you're turning your back on your community. Well, I'm already Black, right? I'm already Black. I'm a Black woman. So I'm already going to attract other Black women and other Black people, other people of color. I'm going to attract those people because it's who I am. It is what is my segue into the other communities that don't look like me, but have a heart like me. And when you can think with that mindset, then you will begin to foster a beautiful platform that will sustain you through any pandemic, through any um, just recession. It'll sustain you because now you have the world supporting you and not just one group, because one group can be wiped out, honey. We've seen that since the beginning of times. They've been trying to wipe out the black race since the beginning of times. So you can't just focus on just one group anymore. That's why it's called 1 million life coaches around the globe. I'm gonna help you go global. I'm gonna help you get that mindset so you can lead globally, so you will never feel alone and never feel left out and never feel supported. I don't ever feel unsupported. I have a tribe of all cultures and nationalities and ethnicities and races and genders and everything, religions. I'll never be left out and I'll never be unsupported. So get into it. Come on in here. You have met the leader. I'm the leader of this mission. And I stand very strong and solid on my beliefs. And that is, it's not just about me. It's about how I affect change in myself to be a vessel and to be a light for all of humanity. So then, if I'm only helping to change one person, that one person will do their job to infect the next person. And the next person will do their job to infect the next person. And then this 1 million life coaches around the globe will reach its shine moment where we literally have 1 million life coaches around the globe. I so believe in it. And this is my life's work. So thank y'all for tuning in. Be good. If you here in Dallas, child, it's been raining. We went from over 100 degrees to a freaking Noah's Ark. Like I just, you can't tell me that we this is not the time that we all stand together. So hopefully I'll get your support and tune in every Monday, like I said, on the new channel at TNC Now on Facebook, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts for 1 million life coaches around the globe. And thank you for listening. Bye for now.